Hey everyone, welcome to the Alba Method and day 29 of our 30-day movement challenge. So today is all about the warrior poses. I'm going to be taking you through a flow that's going to touch on each warrior pose, but we're going to be spending a little bit more time in each of these shapes so we can explore them with a little bit more depth. Today you're just going to need your body and your mat. When you're ready, I'll meet you there. Okay, today we're going to start in a tabletop position. So go ahead and come to all fours with the hands underneath the shoulders and the hips over the knees. Again, as always, just checking in with the body, the breath, and the mind for a moment. You can find a soft gaze or just gently close the eyes and just check in. Notice how you feel. Feel all 10 finger pads pressing into the mat as you press down through the knees. Good, and just take a few cat and cows here. So just moving through these shapes on your own, with your own breath, stretching the belly and rounding through the spine as you move in and out, continuing to scan the body, and again, just getting some feedback. Good, find one more round here. Beautiful, and then pause in the center. So taking your right hand out to the side a little bit, you're going to roll this left shoulder all the way down so the palm is up, looking over your right shoulder. Just press through that shoulder, finding a gentle stretch here. Coming back up to center, switch it out. So placing that right shoulder all the way down, palm is up, and rotating your gaze to the left. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time, each side, nice and slow. Again, we're just warming the body for our practice. Good. Coming back to center and switch. Beautiful. Coming back to center, take both hands out in front of you, coming into this puppy shape, bringing the hips back over the knees as you melt the heart, melt the forehead. And then coming back to your center, bring the hands underneath you and start to come into your downward facing dog. Again, you can keep the knees bent here, depending on where your hamstrings are at today. You can pedal out the heels, take some organic movement, whatever feels good, but straighten the arms, press down and forward into the palms. Let your head just relax between your arms, soften your face, take a breath. Good. Shifting forward to a plank position, shoulders over wrists, pushing the ground away. Feel the shoulder blades move away from each other and then shift the hips up and back, coming back to down dog. Two more, nice and slow. Shifting forward to plank. Again, just warming up the body and shifting back to down dog. One more time. Good. Shifting back to down dog. Just pause. Good. From here, I want you to reach your right leg up to the sky, and you're just going to step through, placing your foot between your hands, coming into a lunge. So bringing the hands down to frame that foot, pulling the belly off the thigh. The back heel is going to stay up. The back leg is your anchor. Good. Bringing that back knee down. Just take the hands on top of that knee and just stretch out that hip flexor. Good. Bring the hands back to frame that foot. Pick up your back knee and now spin your back heel to the mat. And you can take a wider stance here. Setting up for warrior one, just start by bringing your hands to your hips. So this left hip is not going to come all the way forward, right? We're going to keep this hip in this position, and we're just going to start to rotate the upper body towards that front knee. And again, you may need to take a wider stance. We're not on a tightrope here. Good. If you feel okay here, start to reach those arms up, finding that warrior one shape, lunging deeper into that right knee and pressing through the outer edge of your back foot. Good. Bringing the hands to the hips, I want you to rotate that left heel up, spinning the hip towards the front of the space. And then do that again. Spin the heel back down to the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. Rotate that left heel up, coming into that high lunge shape. And then do it one more time. Warrior one, spinning that heel to the mat. Reach those arms up. From here, take the hands behind your back. Just pause. Interlacing the fingers. Heels of the hands don't have to touch here. Extending the arms until you just feel some resistance. Now pull the belly in. We're not going into humble warrior just yet. I invite you to just lunge deeper into that right knee. Pause. Lift the heart. Good. Then the whole body will move together. Hands will come to the hips. As you rotate that left heel up, reach the arms up. Good. Releasing your hands to the mat. Just step back to your downward facing dog. Reset. Stretch. Again, knees can stay bent here. Good. Reach your left leg up, give yourself some space, and then stepping through to the lunge, opposite side. So placing your foot between your hands, pause here, and then bringing that back knee down. Taking the hands on top of that left knee, just stretch. Notice the difference between each side. Good. Framing that foot once again, pick up that back knee, and now spin that right heel to the mat. Again, you can take a wider stance here. So set up your feet first and then come on up, hands to hips. So again, lunging into that knee, I'm just going to start to rotate. It's a subtle movement. We don't want to force or strain anything. Good. And then popping that right heel up, rotating the heel up as you lunge into that left knee. And then spinning that heel, coming on up with the arms for warrior one. Good. So hands come to hips as you pick up that right heel, finding your balance. And then rotate that heel as you come into warrior one. Good. One more time. Rotate that right heel up. And then rotate that right heel down. Reach the arms up first, warrior one. And then sweep those hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Again, shoulder blades roll on to the back. As you extend the arms, just lift your hands till you feel some resistance. Pulling the belly in. Lift the chest. Good. Everything moves together. Picking up that back heel, reach up. And then release your hands to the mat. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Just reset. Beautiful. Take an inhale, lift the heels. And exhale. Release those heels. Stretch. Good. Right leg reaches up. Stepping through to your lunge. Pause. From here, spin your back heel to the mat first, and then let that left arm bring you into warrior two. Here we are. So again, the hips are not going to be square in this pose. This left hip is finding an internal rotation. Our right hip is finding an external rotation. But we want to create strength through the legs in order to protect the hips and the low back. So lunging into that right foot, make sure the knee is pressing towards the pinky edge of the foot as well. You can keep your hands on your hips here, no big deal, or take the arms out to a T and pause. Good. Lunge a little deeper. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. And now just bring your feet parallel. Reach your arms up. Palms touch. Hands will come to hips as you rotate. So coming into that warrior two shape to the back of your space on your left foot. Again, take up your whole mat here. Lunge into that left knee. And then press through the outer edge of your back foot. Feeling everything engage all the way through the lower body, and then take those arms out. Gaze is soft. So we're finding this strength and then this internal subtle softness within our body, within our breath. Good. Coming back up to star, finding warrior two, back to the front of the space. Good. Inhale, pick up that back heel, reach your arms up, coming into that high lunge, and then release your hands to the mat. Step back to your downward facing dog, building piece by piece. Left leg reaches up. Stepping through to your lunge, pause. Good. Spin your back heel and open up, warrior two. Second set. Again, lunge into that left knee, pressing it to the outer edge of that pinky edge of the foot, pressing through the outer edge of your back foot. Good. Shoulders want to rest over the hips as you extend through the fingertips. Lunge a little deeper. And then switch it out, coming up through star. Rotate those right toes as you find warrior two to the back. Good. Squeezing the glutes, really powering down through the feet, and then finding that softness through the shoulder blades, through the breath. Good. Coming up through star, warrior two once again to the front of your space. Pick up that back heel, rotate those arms up, and then release your hands to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog, reset. Good. From here, reach your right leg up. Stepping through to your lunge, pause. Spin your back heel flat, coming back to warrior two. Pause here. From here, taking that hand right to the outer thigh, start to reach your right arm up to the sky, lunging deep as you reach up. We want to not reach too far back behind us, but finding this opening through this side body as we continue to stay strong through the legs. That back hand is light. Continue to reach as you lunge. And then everything moves together, picking up that back heel, rotating those arms down, step back, downward facing dog, breathe. Switching sides, left leg reaches up. Exhale, stepping through to that lunge. Coming back to warrior two on this left side. Good. Find that reverse warrior, lunging deep into that left knee. Backhand is light. Reach straight up above you, looking up as you extend out of the hip. Lunge a little deeper, keeping those legs nice and strong. Stretch. Breathe. And then everything will rotate down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Pause. Good. From here, reach your right leg up and step through to your lunge. Pause, spinning your back heel to the mat, coming back to that warrior one shape, extending the arms up overhead as you lunge into that right foot. Press through the outer edge of your back. Taking those hands behind the back, I'm going to rotate ever so slightly towards my back foot. Now, rolling those shoulders onto the back, extend the arms. You can stay here, or you can start to slowly bring yourself into that humble warrior shape, continuing to lunge into those legs, gazing all the way almost to your navel as you reach the arms to the sky. Good. Keep pressing through your back foot. That's your anchor. Keep lunging into that right knee. And it's normal to feel a little dizzy or lightheaded, so take your time as you come up out of this, reaching those arms up for warrior one, and then nothing moves too much through those legs as you come into warrior two. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, coming all the way down. Pick up that back heel and step back to your downward facing dog. Just feel that. Take a breath. And let it go. Beautiful. Left leg reaches up. Stepping through to that lunge. Pause. Spin your back heel to the mat. And we set it up once again with the legs first. And then arms will extend overhead. Stay strong through those legs. Take those hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. And roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Extend the arms. This is always a great place to stay, or start to shift over to the inside of that left knee as you take the gaze all the way down. Move nice and slow. Pressing through the feet, lifting through the arms as you let the head be nice and heavy. Staying strong through those legs. Remember, come up nice and slow, and then reaching those arms up, make your way into warrior two. Pause here, making those little adjustments once again. Lunging into that left knee, and then reach up, reach back, reverse warrior. Good. Rotating those arms all the way down. Pick up that right heel. Step back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And let it go. Good. Bend your knees and step your feet to your hands. This time coming into Ragdoll so you can keep the knees bent. Interlace the arms and just let the shoulders be nice and heavy. You can sway gently side to side if that feels good. And then just release your hands to the mat. Take a halfway lift, bringing the hands to the shins, and then come up to a standing position. Reach those arms up. And exhale, just bring hands to heart. Close the eyes. Feel the difference in the body, the breath, the mind. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. And as you exhale, you're going to shift into your right foot. Start by pulling your left knee into your chest. Good. So we want to work on maintaining strength in the upper body to really protect the low back. So start by finding an airplane shape, extending those left toes behind you. Bring your hands to heart for balance. Standing strong on that right leg, start to extend your arms overhead, finding this warrior three shape. Upper body wants to be parallel with the ground. Finding your balance, pause, pulling the belly in, stay strong, and then bring that left foot to meet the right. Bring your hands back to heart. Let that settle. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. And we'll switch sides. Pull that right knee in. Remember, always, one side's always going to feel a little trickier. You guys know my left side is not as balanced. So take your time. Start to extend those right toes back. And then bringing hands to heart to counter that balance. You can stay here as always, or start to experiment. Extend those arms forward. Bringing the upper body parallel, one long line of energy from the tips of the fingers to the tips of those right toes. Reach in equal but opposite directions, and then as you're ready, bring that right foot to meet your left. Bring your hands back to heart. Take a breath. And let it go. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. And just bow over the legs, taking that forward fold. Good. Take a halfway lift. Plant your palms and just reset back to your downward facing dog. Good. Take a moment here. Just stretch. Good. Reach your right leg up. Stepping through to your lunge, pause. So now from here, I want you to come up to a high lunge. And then bring hands to heart, launch forward into that warrior 3 variation, and then come into warrior 3. Putting it all together. Good. Bend that knee as you sweep your arms back, coming back to lunge. Now, spin your back heel to the mat. Warrior 1. Good. Sweeping those hands behind you. Interlace the fingers as you roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Lift the heart first, and then lunge deeper as you slowly come into that humble warrior. Stay strong. Good. Slowly coming back up, using your gaze. Inhale, reach those arms up to take you open to warrior 2. Adjust the feet as needed. Inhale, reverse warrior, pause, stretch. And exhale, everything rotates down to the mat as you step back to your downward facing dog. Just breathe. Take a moment. Notice the difference. Good. Left leg reaches up. Step through to your lunge and pause, keeping your back heel up. Rise up to a high lunge. And now hands will come to heart as you launch forward. Good. Finding that warrior 3 shape, extending the arms forward as you reach the toes back. And then use those arms for balance to come into that high lunge. Spinning your back heel to the mat, finding warrior 1. Good. From here, sweep those hands behind you, interlacing the fingers, lifting the chest first. And then humbly bowing over that front leg, taking the gaze with you slowly. Good. Start to inhale as you rise back up. Arms reach up to take you in to that warrior 2 shape. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up, reach back. And exhale, everything rotates back to the mat. Just pause, take a breath, and let it go. Good. From here, bend your knees, step your feet towards your hands. Taking a halfway lift and let that bring you up to a standing position. Reach those arms up and bring hands to heart. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up once again and pulling that left knee into your chest. Good. So we're going to come back into that warrior 3 shape, extending the toes behind you and reaching those arms forward. And now from here, taking a variation, sweep your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and maybe we lift the heart as we balance. This is always just an option. And then we'll come through warrior 3, controlling that release. And then bringing that left foot to meet the right. Sweeping those arms down and bringing them back to heart. Take an inhale. And let it go. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. And we'll create that once again, pulling that right knee in, coming back into that warrior 3 shape. Pause here. Good. Take those hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Again, always an option just to stay in warrior 3 or your hands at your heart. But we're just experimenting here, seeing what we can do. Good. Coming back through warrior 3. And then release, right foot meets the left, hands to heart. Take a breath. And let it go. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, just fold over the legs. Beautiful. Taking a halfway lift and then stepping back to your downward facing dog. Just breathe. Good. Inhale, reach that right leg high. And now from here, sweep your right knee towards your right wrist for half pigeon. Sliding that left foot behind you. Inhale, sitting up tall through the heart space. And then just come down to the forearms. Give yourself a stretch. Pressing through the top of that back foot. And just noticing where you're at. Taking a breath and sending your breath to any tension points. Good. Bringing those hands back underneath you. Start to tuck your back toes as you lift the knee. Reach that right leg high and just bend the knee. Let that hip open. Give yourself some room. And then release to your downward facing dog. Pedaling out the heels. Just stretch. Good. Left leg reaches up, creates space, and then left knee, left wrist, half pigeon. Sliding the top of that right foot back behind you, rising up onto the finger pads. And then coming down to the forearms. Just pause here. Pressing through the top of that back foot. Staying strong, but finding that softness as well. Just breathe. Our minds start to wander sometimes in these stagnant poses, in these stagnant shapes. So I invite you to just stay here and just focus on the breath. Focus on what's happening in the body for just another few moments. Beautiful. Bringing those hands underneath you as you're ready, as you feel balance. Go ahead and pick up that back knee, sweep that left leg high, and then bend the knee, let the hip open, give yourself some room. Good. Start to release back to your downward facing dog. Just stretch. Feel all the differences in the body, the breath, and the mind. Good. From here, go ahead and drop down to the knees and just shift your hips to one side and come onto your back. Pulling your knees into your chest. And again, just pausing here, noticing the difference. You can draw some circles across the ceiling with the knees, giving the low back a little bit of love. And then taking your right leg down to the mat, just pull that left knee in towards the chest. And then we'll twist over to our right, cactus that left arm. Just pause here. Good. Coming back to your center, adjusting those hips, and then pulling that right knee in. Take the left leg down to the mat. Good. Cactusing that right arm. Twist. Just pause. Beautiful. Coming back to your center as you feel balance, wrapping your arms around your shins, pulling your forehead to your knees, and just sealing in everything. And then from here, take up space. Take a full body stretch with your arms overhead. And then bring your arms down by your sides for just a moment of stillness. Surrendering to this space. Just noticing all the energy in the body. Taking a final scan from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Just being proud of yourself. Good. From here, point the toes. Reach your arms above your head. And then making your way over onto one side, or just simply rocking yourself up to a seat. Coming onto the knees or with the legs crossed. Finding this final shape. Bringing the hands to the knees. As always, just roll out the shoulders a couple times. And then bring your hands to heart and just notice the differences. Notice the space around you and notice the space within you. And bow your chin to your chest, as always, honoring ourselves first and foremost for showing up, for taking the time. Give yourself that salute and take this energy with you. Let it go with you off your mat and into your world. Bring your thumbs to your forehead, lift your gaze. Here, find some gratitude for whatever it is you're grateful for today. And in that gratitude, we bow to this practice and to all things. Namaste. Great job today. I hope you all enjoyed this. We'll see you tomorrow for our final day.